He's going to hold up the trophy.
Yeah! I know, I'm excited. Damn, Chief.
Yeah, because the other thing is that because Jabs is playing, he's not really able to analyze, which is what he usually does. And so part of the training arc is he's able to do both synthesize all the information, live watch the replay while he's playing it, see all player perspectives. But he will have another series after this, no matter what happens in this game. It'll be the winner of Shopify Rebellion versus Talon facing off against the loser of this series. It's not guaranteed to be Liquid. This game that you're citing, Fear, it wasn't even against an IO strategy. It was against the Timbersaw and the Deathcroft strategy. So you're saying, I mean, regardless, heal strats are prevalent. AA is just underrated.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Like, I don't think AA is good enough to pick to just counter, like, a Leshrac with a Bloodstone. But once you add, like, an IO heal on top of it, I think you definitely have value. So, as we saw in the Rebellion versus EG series, if you see two heroes that rely heavily on regen or healing, I think AA is a perfectly acceptable hero in the meta right now.
But here's where I asked you a question. So, in the last game, okay, thanks for nothing. Effie,
Tell me
I
your
asked you a question,
and I'll ask it.
Okay, Tsunami, here's my question for you to pass to someone else. In the last game, they first two picked their supports, and I'm guessing they do that because they have the thing they really want, which is the tree, and then they have to put Jabs on his hero because taking it to the second phase is a little weird for stand-in, right? So you don't get to see the IO at that point. They could maybe change it up and pick something else if you pick the AA, or maybe even flex the Leshrac off lane. So how do you tackle that potential change?
Effie, what she said.
Honestly, if I'm Liquid, I wouldn't be worried. I'm sorry, if I'm Gladiators, I wouldn't be worried about an AA because I feel like, yeah, AA works really well versus IO and like heal reduction and all of that, but he's also very exploitable, right? They can just take advantage of him in the side lanes, pick something that kills him, and just kind of run him down before he can have impact. That's always my concern with Ancient Apparition, to be honest. And I feel like AA is a hero that gets enabled by heavy rotation type mids, right? So if he's playing with a Storm, who can jump from a distance, you can like shoot out the blast from the other side of the map, and then you can have impact. But for the most part, if you're like missing your first two ice blasts and you're not getting a value out of them, the hero feels kind of useless. Like, I feel like it feeds. That's just my read on it.
But what if he lands them?
That changes everything. And a word on the street that I have just been reported is that GG did choose first pick. Liquid chose Dire. So they see quite a bit of power in that first pick.
Yeah, so it's going to potentially be a repeat game, right? We're going to see what difference they'll have. I mean, there's a lot of theory crafting here. We're sitting here theory crafting it, but at the end of the day, they're doing the same thing, right? They're going to have to either let a new hero through or do the same exact like opening or let them have the same opening and try to respond to it differently. So I'm just excited to see what their response is going to be.
Okay, well then I will show it to you because it's time now for game number 2 of Team Liquid versus Gaimin Gladiators coming up.
You suck! So hard!
Jimiadi adalah warga surga yang baik karena memberi Zhepirus 10.000. Akeong 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 akeong
What do you think, Young? I think the approach is to let them pick which one they have, and you get the other one advantageous.
Yeah, I guess that's the case here. The second pick, and they're going to go for the Undyne and the Lima. So a lot of weird heroes making it through. A normal game would be freaking out, but because of the weird conditions, it means something different.
Jadi nggak kedengeran, jadi nggak kedengeran. Gaimin Gladiator kayaknya menang sini. Hebat soalnya mereka. Bagus. Gaimin Gladiator tadi bagus banget mainnya, parah. Sama nanti jam 6 itu bakal ada Talon. Talon lawan apa ya? Lima Major. Talon itu nanti lawan Shopify Rebellion. Nah, Shopify Rebellion tuh EG zaman dulu. Nah, di Shopify Rebellion tuh ada Artezi, Abed, Saberlight, Crit, sama Fly. Let's go. Nah, tapi ini kenapa nggak masuk ya? Kenapa ini? Kalau boleh tahu. Kalau boleh tahu aja nih. Kenapa saya tidak masuk? Waduh, dibantu ini. Kenapa saya tidak masuk?
But Pangolier 3 is a really bad hero. It's a mid laner. Pango is a mid laner. It's super rare occasions that you want to play on the position 3. Maybe they saw this Zeus pick as a really broken pick. They should go for it. But Pango 3 doesn't really work.
Yeah, he was just behind in net worth the whole time. It's really a huge difference when he doesn't have Diffusal Blade as well. Because then, like, his really good impact is just rolling thunder. But being able to do like two swashbuckle, rolling thunder, and then another swashbuckle, you can kill almost any hero. But if you're an offlaner, you just need to coordinate with your team a lot more to get that damage up, and it just doesn't feel nearly as good unless you're in a huge team fight and you're just disrupting things. So yeah, it's definitely a big detriment.
A hero we've seen when we see this Brood against Lina matchup, we see Puck, usually by the side of, okay, we don't see Puck anymore.
Bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Puck.
They're lacking and running out of the lockdown options right now.
Yeah, maybe a Tidehunter can be the hero. We mentioned it could be good in the last match. Here also could be a frontliner to hold the tower against the Broodmother, because Lina will need to leave her lane really soon. Yep. You cannot stand there against Brood, so you need a hero that's gonna sit, actually not on your tier 1, because it's gonna be gone, but that's gonna sit on your tier 2 and in your jungle and not let Brood get all your camps. So this hero needs to be some tight sort of hero, Kanka, and a hero that can actually tank the Broodmother.
Just make sure that they can keep the map presence available for themselves. Team Liquid, they ban out this Drow Ranger now as well, so that gives them options. They take the Mirana. All right.
Mirana ya, start
I don't like that they don't have setup though, Coach.
Sure, but the setup is the Mirana in some ways. Mirana ulti allows Undyne to become a much better ganking hero, makes his 8 to 15 minute timing a lot better, because then you can start Undyne on top of Brood, give him a little slap on the butt. She's slower now, and then you use the other heroes to ideally get that kill. Okay. So if they use it correctly in that way, it can be really powerful. That part I like. And they can pick some setup later. Pick some Mjolnir, or not Mjolnir, Gleipnir type hero. That could work.
What do you think, Estini? Is this going to be similar to what we see from Tundra when they play this Mirana, where you give the responsibility of buying mech to the Mirana and then the offlane hero buys like some pipe instead?
I don't think he can get there. Broodmother plays way too fast for you to allow buying the Aorus in the position 4, especially against this Batrider. They're really gonna run at Liquid. Liquid's getting out of options to answer this Batrider. Puck is banned. I can only see Cop decent in the lane, and Batrider Lasso pierces BKB, so it's a counter to Lina. No catch on the Undyne for it, no catch on the Mirana for it.
Ooh, Snapfire, nice.
It still feels fine though. I mean, Gladiators played Batrider against Quap against a similar situation. Like having the bat advantage and then later being able to clear spiders can be pretty effective too. So I could see it, but yeah, it's causing other issues in their draft. The lack of lockdown setup stuff that Murano still wants for herself wouldn't be there if Quap comes out too. So yeah, there's definitely a mix of problems they're currently finding.
Can they pick the Abaddon against Batrider? Because I was looking at fancy picks, because I was looking at the ranked matchmaking, and the most played hero on was Zeus with Blutz on ranked.
Okay.
On the last month, and then for Zai was Abaddon with 8 matches.
Okay. So you want to see some offlaner Baron here come out?
I don't know. Because I see Batrider, I want to answer him. Like either you need some very good lockdown or you need a counter to Lasso. What would be that really good lockdown?
I mean, if we're talking about a support Abaddon, it would sound way better to me, but I just don't. I don't like the core Abaddon. I feel like it has a lot of issues.
Let's go back to the old days and play offlane Undying, you know? Summon the ghost of Ice and be like, come on, man. Play this game for us.
Yeah, I mean, there were times where that was decent. It's been nerfed a little bit for strength steel and things like that.
It also doesn't deal with spiders, right? They need a hero that deals with spiders. We go back to the Tidehunter as a possibility.
What I find very interesting about the place where ads in the draft right now is that Liquid, one of the only games that they lost in the group stage was when they played Lina and Queen of Pain in the same game, right? And they put the Lina mid, Queen of Pain went into the safe lane, and it was against a similar kind of draft as what Gaimin Gladiators had right now. There was a Broodmother in that game, and I forget the other hero mid. So maybe GG is like, let's force them into picking this super strong hero. There's another counter for Batrider though. We have Slark. So you have a hero that at every point in the game you feel comfortable here. Early game you can always jump away from the Procie. He's not likely to kill you in the lane. You lose the lane, but Slark loses a lot of these lanes. It is what it is. You still catch up later.
Which I think is Slark mid here.
Slark mid? Panisha?
Yeah.
Because you have Lina already in the lineup. Unless they want to swap lanes. There's also the chance that they swap lanes, right? And they play the Lina mid against Bat.
Like a spellcast build? Like Max Dragon Slave, do you think? Or is he still going to go like right click? That's the crazy part. Nobody does it.
Undying offline.
9 has done it.
You still can do it.
Yeah, 9 went for the magical build. We need to see the carry on GG to really see which way Lina would go.
So one thing I also do like about the Slark in tandem with the Murano, gives them a lot more mobility and movement. And the out and out lockdown from GG is like what? Lasso and left. So not the most reliable long-term lockdown for multiple targets. It's a very single target oriented draft. Outside of like the Modi's kisses.
What I like about it is that they're so good at running at Team Liquid between Brood and Bats and having Cookie able to deal with that too. They should be able to poke and prod and try to force out like tombstones, deal with the tombstoner back, or get a pick off, that kind of thing. So I feel like, yeah, maybe it's not the best initiators, but they just do that by running in aggressively with these creepy looking heroes.
Yeah, and they're gonna see the carry first on Liquid, so they still get to ban one carry and then react on the offlane pick. I feel when you pick Zark, usually ban Bloodseeker and Faceless Void. Tidehunter is gone. Especially because Faceless Void with Snapfire sounds really great in my opinion. There are also some counters to Lina that we see, such as TA, Spectre, Ursa. But they don't feel that good against the Zark. I guess Void feels good against the Zark and against Lina.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing for them to flex Lina for the first time in the tournament, basically. But it does have some upper hand, yeah.
Team Liquid has just been flexing pretty much everything at this point in time. Very difficult to know exactly what they're doing, especially considering that they always swap who the priority pick is at the end of the draft. It's not like a reliable situation. So we need them to pick a safe lane hero for the side of Gaimin Gladiator. CK is gone. The other options that Estini mentioned here, Purge, were some Ursa, some Spectre, heroes that get on top of this Lina. No, both of those feel fine to me, I guess. Faceless Void does still feel like the best.
Yeah, Void feels the best. He hasn't played though, so I don't know if he goes for some Naga sort of hero. Can work.
Yeah. I guess it feels like it'd be a little safer, give some team fight advantage, more stuff to tank arrows with. Can reset fights. The song against Slark is fantastic, obviously.
We have quite a bit of reserve time remaining here, so they can take their time to really think about this. They're asking you right away, man, what's winning this game 100%? Because we know we're going to win our Rubik lane, it's fine. Rubik's Brood will do perfectly well. Not only will we see that lane dominate Linas in the past, in the event it is a Lina. If it's Slark in that lane, you win that lane anyway. You don't have any worries there. Batrider should be fine, even if Slark goes mid. You're not going to dominate the Slark, but you'll be okay.
I would say just give me Void. If I'm the carry, it's like carry me the game. You guys can make it through the late game, just give me Void. 0 cares. I'm gonna carry this game. I chrono him, no saves. Easy win.
Yeah, they don't have, like going for some like range carry, I just don't see it working. They don't have any amplifiers. Lina will beat those heroes.
Ya, Ursa sih udah pasti normal lah.
I mean, no matter what happens, you have some weird lane going on for Liquid between Slark and Lina, so they won't be in ideal circumstances no matter what.
Centaur.
This also feels very scary because there will come that point in the game where Broodmother's taken over top, and that's going to open up the Roshan pit really quickly from Radiant side, so Ursa should be able to steal it quite nicely.
Pengen banget sih gue
And to Asini's point about Slark mid, there was a period in time where this was semi-common, like a year or two ago in the mid lane. It just has been forever since that was the case, but I mean, it's possible that they could make it work. It's just going to be weird.
Yeah, I wonder how they answer the Ursa now with the offlane. You don't want this Venom Viper hero against Brood. You need a hero that deals with the spiders. So you need a melee pair with Mirana, maybe a setup stun, Centaur type of hero, but those melee heroes, they suck against Ursa.
How about we go back to what Talon did today and pick a Razer for the offlane Zai. Zai has actually played Razer in the past. We know it's a very good matchup against Ursa. Not that great against Brood though.
I don't know if I'd say very good. I mean, you're stealing his damage, but he can always generate new damage for himself. So the lane would be kind of okay. He could deal spiders and stuff. This looks like a little bit of an easier way to do it. Gives him some setup, some late game team fight. The lane will be a little bit more stabilized. They've got some push going on if they wanna, and it is going to be a mid Slark. You're right.
Okay, so mid-slog coming out here. Now that the drafts are completely before us, let's talk about it here first. Tell me about this Gaimin Gladiators draft. What do they need to do in order to ensure victory, and do you think they'll be able to take game number 1?
Just feels like at all the stages of the game before like 25 minutes, they just have the better draft. They've got lane strength. Quinn can gank side lanes. Sure, maybe Ursa's a little bit weak against Enigma and lane, but I really like the Gaimin Gladiators draft here.
And what do you think on the side of Team Liquid here, Astini? It's a bit of an awkward situation. You know, we flexed the Lina for the first time sort of in a while, right? We have this mid-slot tournament for the first time in the tournament. Do you think this is going to guarantee them victory in game 2 and force us to the third and deciding game?
Not really. Honestly, they need to stomp lanes. I don't see they doing it. They need definitely to outplay GG because they don't have the tools to deal with a bad rider. Slark doesn't deal with him. He just don't get lassoed. But you don't save any hero. You don't save Lina that's going to have all your farms. So it's pretty rough.
Until you buy a shard.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it. Yeah.
Does seem like a very difficult game for the side of Team Liquid if they want to guarantee themselves the first berth in the grand finals. However, if there's any team that can make this happen, it would be Team Liquid. To find out if that is going to be the case, we send it over to the Confidence Cap and the Super SVG. Give us an entertaining one, please.
Game Gladiators just one step away from a grand final berth, and what an achievement that would be for a squadron that, I mean, last year, they probably came into it. I don't think too many people started off looking at that squad going, oh yeah, they're going to be top tier in Europe, but did pretty well last year. Have a switch up, bring Quinn in, all of a sudden a grand finals at their first LAN event. I mean, that would be amazing for this.
That's what happens when you bring a little NA Dota into your house.
Yeah, First Snake King, then
you start
Quinn.
pulling talent from the best region in the world. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? What other conclusion can we come to? Honestly, part of me feels like this gaming team is consistently underrated somehow. Like, they're always doing well in the European regional.
Yeah.
They always look really good. They're always in that, they were like, you know, top 6, top 8 of LAN territory, whatever, but everybody just doesn't seem to think of it as a tournament threat. Well, guess what? Now they're a tournament threat. So now you got to deal with all of their crap, and there's a lot to deal with. I say crap because these guys have a lot of heroes that they just spam. They know how to abuse. They know how to cheese. They're always going to get their strategies. They're very confident every game they go into. They're getting something that you have to deal with. You have to choose what you give them. In this game, Liquid choose to give them the Brood. And Ace Brood has been dominant this tournament. They're very comfortable with it. They know how to abuse the timings with the auras. That's why they last picked this Ursa. So you can go into the early Roshans out the tower kills with the aura timings. It's a pretty good Brood lineup. They have the supports to play around them. They have initiators to set up the fight and pull you into the auras. At the same time, Liquid pick up this Enigma, which can do similar things, and you kind of want to have a similar game flow, but I don't feel like their lineup plays as fast around him. So I definitely give tempo advantage to Gaimin in this matchup, but scale-wise, you do have double carry for Liquid, and we've seen them pull back these double carry games, and it becomes very scary, right? And I was thinking they might go for this mid-Slark because this is one of those matchups where you kind of forget about it, but it's honestly up there with the Queen of Pain if you can play it really well. You debilitate a lot of what Batrider wants to do in the game. It's not necessarily just about crushing the lane, but you get vision on the map, you de-ward a lot of wards. The nighttime vision is super good versus hero. You make his team fighting difficult. He can't really lasso you or fight you in the fight. D-ward early.
Nice little D-ward. Nisha snags that one before the deny could come through.
That's
in time.
really good, because you want to give this Slark as good of a start as you can. Extra XP is going to do him some favors. And I think Nisha can just kind of play an assassin-type Slark. Like, he can get mags, he can get a depth shroud in this game. He can play to just go and cause some chaos, create some space, and use his save on this Lina if it ever comes to it. That's what I'm kind of looking at this pick. I can see the value here, because to me, it's still a Lina lineup. You have to play around what this hero does for you, what her timings are going to be in terms of BKB, Hurricane Pike, the Maelstrom getting her there. You're still building the Aorus from Enigma, and you have the team fight from Undying to try and force those objectives first if you can get there. But so much of your early and mid game is dependent on how fast of a start Nisha has on Slark and what he can do with it.
Another player-hero combination that we haven't talked about just yet. I was tempted to call him X Factor, but maybe he's more like a Z variable. We've got Jabs, who's going to be playing the Mirana. Now, for those guys who don't know Jabs, understandably, he's an analyst for Team Liquid. He's standing in because Boxy has a little bit of a health problem. But this is probably his best hero. Jabs Mirana. So, I mean, I think his Rubik is, you know, again, he's not going to be up to pro player level standards. I think his Rubik is probably another pretty decent heroes of his, but this is the Mirana that he's probably best at, most comfortable with, and we'll see if he's going to be able to perform in this game too, because game one, I mean, he had some small moves. He had some telekinesis saves and stuff. He had that one accidental cogs killer that wasn't so hot, but you know, he definitely didn't have that big impact that, you know, sadly Liquid's missing in Boxy, right? Which is, I mean, he's one of the biggest playmakers for Team Liquid.
Yeah, you can't put pressure on him. It has to come from the other players in the team. Give him something he's comfortable with. Maybe hit some clutch arrows, and that's what you should expect going in, right? Because there's so many little things in these top-tier professional games. You just don't notice, but they're there. Like the laning, the pulls, the D-wards, all this small stuff adds up. Suddenly you get a level 2 first, you kill somebody, the lane snowballs, right? You're just not going to be in that zone. That said, I think Liquid are in a much more comfortable position this game than the last one, because one, Zai is on a hero that he has popped off with this tournament compared to the offlane Pango of last game. I expect he's going to have a much larger, consistent, reliable impact in this game. He's not going to get shut down on lane. He's going to get to his items, which means if you can fight around these black holes, he can maybe deliver. You have Ronald to give the vision. You have Nisha to run in first and scout things.
He does have the Dark Pact here, so he is not really threatened by that Bat Rider. Nisha does some decent damage. And Nisha does seem to be doing pretty well all in all. You said this matchup is favorable for the Slark. It's one of the big counters to Bat Rider. Is very rarely do you see mid Slark. It's pretty much just against this mid matchup.
You do fine in the lane. It's not that you're going to dominate the Bat on lane, but it's more you do fine. Bat can't really pressure you. You maybe get the cheeky kill, but it's all about that like 10 to 20 minute mark. What does Slark get done during that time period in terms of abusing the map, especially the night times here? The other benefit this Slark pick gives him is it gives him a mid that can actually catch Brood at later points in this game. If you get to Ags on Slark, he's really good at catching this hero. He just gives you the lockdown, the catch, the range. Double pounce can do a lot of work in this game.
Arrow does land off that third Malphus tick, so some pretty good damage on Celery here. He's got plenty of leap charges. Jabs opting not to chase after that, though.
The lane's going a bit better for Liquid than last time, and more importantly, the
big nice. Nice
can you shut down Ace on this Brood before he gets out of control, right?
Right,
The one window you have versus Hero is before he hits 6, so you gotta get as much damage. You gotta cut off as many of the A legs as you can before he starts scurrying out of control.
If you told me Lina Undying should win this matchup,
they should.
At least
it's
early
a very
on.
strong lane. I mean, they're respecting the tombstone here, right?
Yeah, certainly.
And Ace is getting zoned. Like, he is getting shut down in the CS. Mickey's at 18 and 8 right now. That is a significant amount of early denies. Keeping the XP low, keeping the farm out of his reach.
Zai?
Killing some Eidolons down here, though. Zai is... He's not struggling, but Dyrachyo, I don't think he's really feeling the pain of this Enigma lane.
Now, I was a little bit surprised to see Enigma so late into the draft. In fact, last game, Insania, he's good. In fact, it's going to be the Rubik. Takes a lot of damage on his way out here. Same goes with Ace. Now you've got that attack speed. You said the Enigma is actually, you were not super excited about that pick. And you listed 3 heroes that deal pretty well with the Enigma. Can you list that again?
You didn't listen the first time?
No,
I'm just messing with you. I mean, they do get last pick Enigma. you wouldn't have been thinking about that earlier on in this tournament, but they do.
Yep.
The problem is, I think they were running out of aura buyers in this off lane that they felt were going to reliably win the lane, or maybe create some pressure and kick this Ursa out. Because remember, if Ursa gets kicked out, he's a Battle Fury hero. He's trying to go for it with the ring. He's not the fastest jungler. If anyone can kick him out, take his tower, limit the space, and then do the earlier Roshans with auras, you really destroy the Ursa's game flow here. That aspect, I think, is really good, and I think it's why they went for it in this game. Not to mention the late game black holes versus heroes that carry are super nice, right? You can't status resist black hole. It just doesn't do anything. So that aspect I really like about Enigma, but I think you have the Rubik who can steal it and turn it around. You have Batrider and Brood who are generally cores that can skirt around the fights. They don't clump. You have two literal cliff walkers in these cores that make it hard for Enigma to take those fights. You get kited. And then I think even Snapfire raining down the kisses has been annoying for this hero because he's really slow. Enigma has pretty bad MS and he doesn't build early mobility. The second you get hit by one or two of those kisses, they can sometimes just solo kill you in some of these fights. We've seen it during the tournament.
Right.
So I think the rest of the game, it can be hard for Zai. It's about his impact versus the Ursa and shutting him down.
Oh no.
Oh, first blood gets picked up. Insania was desperate to make sure that the creep wave connected with each other. He thought a high, oh no! That's gonna be Zai dying as well. I'm not sure what he was doing out here. Looks like another kind of attempt at connecting waves goes wrong for Liquid as they try and contest.
He was trying to get Celery there with the Eidolon kill, but not enough gas to tank. Arrow to snipe him.
That would have been sick. A little bit off the mark, but
yeah, that would have been a highlight reel for sure. So giving up some kills in the side lanes, but again, you're okay with this if you're Liquid, giving up a little bit here to some of the kill combos, just get all your cores online. And predominantly, you just want the farm on Lina, and secondarily the Slark. Nisha is falling a little behind in this mid matchup, but he did get to 6, and now he can, you know, start to build his game up. And Nisha is one of the mids who is really scary on these mid carry heroes because, well, he was a carry player, and he played a lot of the carries mid anyway, so he's very comfortable in this position.
Yeah, that's why he's mid morphling, and you know his Slark has got to be pretty scary to go up against. Now, does Liquid, because of this whole setup, does that mean they want to keep sort of a static laning phase? They just want Nisha to hang out mid for as long as possible?
I think they're pretty happy with static, yeah. I think more importantly, they're really happy with the static if both their side lanes are continuing to build up the momentum. Because Zai, he's not going to move, right? Enigma doesn't move. He wants to get the isolated one-on-one versus Ursa. And then on top, you want to shut down this Brood for as long as you can. And again, they're keeping Ace from 6. He's a full level off it. Lina's still in the lane. You can look at that net worth differential. It shows in the CS, but it shows more in 1,200 plus, right? And this is the space you want to create for the Brood time you're all throwing. That's going to give you time to get your Maelstrom BKB on this Lina. It's going to give time for Slark to come online. And then when this Ursa tries to force the Roshan, you're ready to take that fight. Even more so if it's at night.
Quinn does manage to get the ult out of Nisha's Slark, so puts that on cooldown. That's pretty nice. Looks like Zai is going to be dying again here.
These are big kills. Anytime you kill Enigma, it's huge, but to kill him twice on lane and to push the Rock up to level 6.5 here with the start he's having, this Ursa is becoming terrifying.
Yeah, what's the difference here between this Enigma and Broodmother? Looks like about a 300 net worth difference, but I think that's expected just because of what Eidolons can do for you.
Yeah, I think ideally you want your Enigma a little farther ahead of Brood in this type of scenario when Brood's had to play up against this undying Lina
They're going
lane.
to go for the Broodmother kill off of this haste rune.
Oh, this is a good move. You have all the vision in the world.
They do. Ace going to run down. They're going to be able to catch him with a pounce, and that should be enough as they're just going to throw out the Laguna Blade right away.
The old bug zapper.
That's a good one.
And this is a tier 1 down top.
Oh, yeah. With the Tombstone blocking things out. Oh, Duraccio might be able to get this. Healing Salve actually does keep Jabs alive. An arrow goes out. Duraccio's going to be able to sidestep that one. Take a look.
Look at the triangle. Nisha early invade versus bad. You can take these skirmishes. Doesn't have ult, though.
He saw all those stacks, but no ultimate, no dark pact.
Little overextended.
A pounce, and Quinn just barely stuck in front of him.
I was going to say you can take that, but he actually had no resources.
Yeah.
This is just a feed. Quinn's, okay, sure. I'll take the kill, Nisha. Thanks. Now I get to farm my Ancient stack in peace. And I was saying this Ancient stack can be vulnerable because you're getting the tier 1 top. It does go down here to that Tombstone, keeping the wave off. This is a massive stack, massive objective for Quinn's game. He already has the bots online. They're going to smoke him for it to help him clear it out. Pretty good team play. And because that's Slark death, you don't get the chance to invade this. Do you just run back here now if you're Liquid? But are you going to be late to the party? Dying pretty fast.
Jab's going to join him. Insania's running in, but he doesn't have Tombstone.
The littlest of timings make the biggest of difference here.
They really do. And Tofu just solo is zoning him out right now in that pivotal moment where all the biggest of the Ancients were dying.
Oh, Quinn, you're leaving some items on the ground, my friend. You don't like that one, huh? Honestly, it was hidden under all of the dragon hides. They stack it so much, it drops 3 or 4 neutral items. He might have been full on space, but...
I mean, Quinn is a pure boy. Maybe he just doesn't like the occult bracelet.
That's true.
LSA, only going to do so much here. Mickey is very, very dead, and this is the problem with the matchup, right? You can shut down Broodmother as much as you want, but as soon as he gets 6, you just can't play the lane anymore as Lina.
Especially with Bat, who can bots onto the spider lane.
Yeah.
Mickey just overextended his vacation time in this top lane. He's going to have to spend it somewhere else. And again, now it comes down to Nisha trying to make some spaces. He pushes towards his diffusal. Does have some rune control, but it does feel like you're getting split on the map and out farm. I mean, look at how far ahead this Bat and Ursa are. After that Ancient stack especially.
Yeah.
They're just cruising. And I don't think they're under pressure to fight at this exact time. They just want to let Ace get to the auras and then do the Roshan. Once again, Liquid have to try and set themselves up best for that type of engagement. Zai's going Midas. Okay, they are really just gearing towards the late game here. This is telling me they don't feel like they're going to be able to contest the Roshan maybe with how good of a start he's had. So just try and pick up extra levels here on the Enigma, push into that later portion of the mid game where you can take fights around what's probably just going to be Midas into Blink BKB, I imagine. I don't think you go Midas first into the Auras because what are you using them for, right?
Do you think this concept, a slower, more late game oriented strategy here from Liquid, does that put less pressure on the supports? Or more?
This support duo is just not that amazing at just raw scaling. That's how I feel. I'd rather have the Snap Rubik, I think, especially in a game where there's really good spells to steal.
Sure.
I think Insania is going to feel bad if you can't take the early fights around the Tombstone. Morana doesn't really have a pickoff hero she can play with. She doesn't have the temple setting mid. It's a Slark, which Slark is okay at doing it once he has Ags, but before then, it's not amazing.
Yeah, we don't have arrows set up. No. Kisses, there it is. We're going to have the lasso kisses that'll easily kill the Enigma. And Insania chasing after Quinn. I mean, the Moonlight Shadow, sure, but again, these are arrows thrown from long distance that have no setup whatsoever. They're just kind of like blindly hoping it lands.
You should get the body block.
That one does land, though. Nice hit.
That's all it takes. One arrow. Now he's feeling himself. Now he's back. Celery gives him the tip. Of course, these guys are long-term friends. Yeah. Maybe that helps a little, too. And that's a tier 1 down.
Speaking of arrows.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the stolen ones.
Yeah, that's a stolen one from Tofu.
Okay, Arcane Rune again for Quinn. He's carrying it over from the previous game. The Rune luck just never stops around here 24/7. As Nisha, you're in trouble.
Oh, barely had the mana for that one, but I don't think it matters.
No,
he doesn't have any further escape. Really good collapse there from Gaimin Gladiators. They just surrounded Nisha as he's just been trying to play so aggressively in their jungle.
Man, Quinn has really played this game well.
Yeah,
he's so farmed off the Ancient stack. He hasn't wasted any time. Made that small move bottom, killed the Enigma. Made the move top, killed Mickey. Basically ganked both side lanes, got rune control, and took the big priority farm, and he's paying it back. He's going to have a fast BKB on this Bat Rider, and that's a problem because
Smoke across the map. Tumbler Toy is a hell of a drug. Gets in that little hop that makes the black hole really easy to land against Ace.
Man, where'd you pull that line out of?
I'm just obsessed with this tier 1 item. I think it's a little too good.
Yeah, a little too. I thought this was a PG stream. If I'd known that all along, I would have been busting out.
Oh, jeez.
You've unleashed a beast.
Let's not get this duo canceled, Avery. Come on, calm down.
I thought that's what's supposed to happen. What happened to your last analyst?
No.
I'm just
not another one.
I'm just speed running it. I want the record. I mean, you told me to be the best.
True. I didn't exactly specify the best at what.
Arcane bots into mid for quick smoke, so even if this fails, you still have another move up on this Bat Rider. Battle very done for Ursa. And Dyrachyo, he doesn't want Roche, he wants blood. Even gonna take the rune away from Quinn's son. Careful now.
Oh no.
Careful now.
He might just be dropping his items. Insania is going to be pulled back to his demise here, but he gets off the tombstone first, but really that's just extra cold as it's quickly killed. Arrow does
Nice
land.
LSA.
They need to turn around, kill quick before he gets away. The last couple of shots finish him up. Mickey's still in trouble, and a fade ball puts him in his grave.
Stolen tombstone as well.
Zai has to TP out. It will barely make it. Ooh, that was a little closer than I expected.
And this is where that Enigma Brood matchup sucks. You just can't stand there. As Quinn tips Ace saying, thank you, sir. Oh, juggling a little balls. Why not? Has time to think about it.
Celery showcasing that not all professional gamers have good hand-eye coordination.
Fumbled a little bit, but they are not fumbling this game.
No, they're not.
He continues to stack this triangle. The farm is getting out of control here for Gaimin. And more importantly, the team fight is just all theirs right now. You don't have that spell immunity on Liquid's side to be able to man up versus the kisses, versus the Rubik stolen spells, and his Bat Rider's just melting Nisha. This matchup does not look good for him at all this game.
Ooh, Arrow a little bit too late. The Enrage protecting. Oh, pounce timing. That's okay. They do manage to finish up the Ursa, so.
That's a big find.
Sins forgiven. Insania will die for those, though.
Somebody has to pay the price.
That's true.
But getting this Battle Fury Ursa off the field right now, when you could just be doing Roshan, you take that every time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to contest Roshan, but they can delay it.
I mean, they can make it costly, right?
Yeah.
You find a lot of farm on the map. Because right now, you really need as many Slark items as you can get. You need this Midas on the Enigma to pay off. And you need Mickey to get to his next one as well, which he's not going BKB, he's just going the Gleipnir. So once the extra lockdown here, but again, I feel like this bat is just too farm. Like, he already has BKB finished. This Gleipnir is not going to be amazing versus him. And Quinn sniffing Mickey out bottom. He's just trying to go for the solo kill.
They will be able to grab him. They do have Zai to help out, but no black holes, so
he's out
nothing
of control
to stop him.
Now Ace returns the tip. Me on one side, you on the other.
Arrow,
they're not even going to find him.
Oh, no. He tucked away to the right-hand side, and they gave up on that kill entirely.
And you know why they're tipping him? Because he brought them all bottom for this kill, and it opens up Roshan.
Yep.
Man, what a valuable gank. DD on the Ursa as well. It's instantaneous. No chance to respond. Quinn's giving him everything.
These are some value runes. Game of Gladiators. First Roshan of the game.
Liquid akhirnya tumbang juga. Padahal Liquid nggak ada kalahnya dari kemarin. Tumbang dia sama Gaimin Gladiator. Jelek banget yang terakhirnya. Enigma.
This is during night as well. This is kind of
Razer sih tadi mestinya bagus.
Maybe you hunt and kill Brood once. They found the Ursa, but that's pretty much been it. Remember, you have a vision advantage as well. There's a lot of dire wards out on the map right now, but they're not using them. And that's an issue, because this is one of those periods where you want to be able to use them. Diffusal Slark can set up some kills. Maybe you land an arrow off a Malefice. You have the extra vision to scout and set up those skirmishes. But Gaimin are just happy to trade and keep building towards their items. Again, nobody's catching this Brood, and she is occupying literally half the map right now. There are no dots above that mid lane.
Oh yeah, they know they're all bottom because these spiders scouting at the triangle, pushing
Look
mid,
at the
pushing
purple
top.
dots right now. They are everywhere. Blocking camps, giving vision. Meanwhile, top lane pushes all the way in, so Mickey has to show up here, which means this smoke move from Gaimin is very confident to just push it in. Quinn can TP in 2 seconds to any of these plays. They know they have the 4-on-4, 5-on-4 with the Aegis.
Celery's going to be baiting in men a little bit. Celery will definitely die for this, but how much of Liquid is going to get caught here? The Moonlight Shadow, the last after the Dark Pact, and it looks like Nisha could be in some trouble. He's going to pop the ultimate and TP out. He's good. The rest of the team, though, Moonlight Shadow helping to protect them. Zai, oh, stay quiet, son.
Whisper Cap. Don't tell him he's there.
He does have a TP, so he could leave anytime he wants to, but he's going to get greedy. He wants to cut it another way.
The thing is, where is he going to TP to, and what is he going to farm if he TP's out?
Yeah.
Well, there's nowhere else to go on the map. So you stay down here. The second game you leave, you kill the next wave. You have an Eidolon conversion. You have a Midas. It's going to do a lot of damage. You don't even have to linger here too much. Insta-TP. Oh, this is just super good play from Zai.
Very nice.
He's buying so much space in time route. You got your whole jungle back from this Brood because Nisha can invade it. These are the little things that get you back in these really tough games.
Nice. Nobar di TP, babi. Mantap nobar TP.
No, I don't think so. They've got to fight away from Dyrachyo for sure. They do have the Gleipnir, so maybe they can fight. Oh, Xenia's going to die behind the tier 2 mid, Dyrachyo.
Boy, clipped all his spiders.
Undying di depan Ursa.
Oh, come on.
That happens sometimes.
Help him out.
Gak bisa.
He'll be left to die. Much like maybe Zai.
The bear's angry. Oh, tree block.
Oh, nice tree block.
And now diffuseled up, out of mana.
Okay, we can take away the Aegis here as the pounce does land.
You have a black hole here.
Gleipnir's going to be able to land on the 2 support. Zai keeping
Black hole nggak bisa. Black hole nggak bisa. Tuh kan gue udah bilang apa? Black hole nggak bisa.
Oh no.
Nggak bisa kawan. Nggak bisa.
Misses. Mickey unable to stop it. Jabs out of lead charges. He's going to die as well.
Nisha going ham.
Does manage to get Tofu. Dyrachyo's in some trouble, but so is the Lina. Dyrachyo does die to Nisha. Zai and Nisha. Lasso after Dark Pact again by Quinn. And now Zai. His team fight started with him being targeted and will end with him dying.
Eaten alive by the Spiderlings. Don't even have to commit. Ooh, Quinn has had Nisha's number this game. He's had their number this series. Sure, you lose your Ursa, but you get the whole squad and you get the turnaround with the black hole, throwing it back against them. Zai just can't find footing in these fights, and that's why I'm saying this Enigma game, it's hard because you're double clip walkers.
Black hole mau gimana? Lu aja.
It's so hard to find these black
Miskin
holes.
gak punya dagger
You're trying to
gitu.
get vision with Tombstone, you're trying to get something set up. You don't even have that blink yet. He has it now, but honestly, can get disabled from a lot of these fights too, between the napalm, some random fade bolt.
Zai seems super hesitant to throw that black hole out initially, and you can see why. Because if he doesn't catch Tofu, Tofu's going to have a much better black hole than he is.
With Aether Lens and Force, it's just too easy as well.
Yeah.
Nggak bakal mungkin.
Now you really got to get some momentum going here if you're Liquid, because you went Gleipnir first on this Mikelina. These are the fights you want to be winning. Zai's going to try and make something happen with this blink. Nisha from behind, they'll get a quick support kill. Got to turn it into more. You do have Depth Shroud up on this Slark. And as I was saying, this is a big item for this game because it can extend the fights. It can bail out Mickey, who didn't go to BKB first. Maybe you save someone else in the lasso if that's how the fight gets set up.
What do you think about this? Rubik is the big counter to Enigma, right? What happens if he blinks black holes and you Depth Shroud him? You can't target him to steal the black hole in the first place.
That's some next level technology. I'm honestly impressed you came up with that.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's one of those savant moments. Stupid at everything else when it comes to Dota, but a really obscure combo I can come up with.
Yeah, broken cap is right twice a day.
Insania, they really have a hard time protecting these supports against this Broodmother.
Yeah, they only got him with an arrow, but he's just going to have to save himself in this scenario. Zai, again, trying to make space on this map. He knows he's not getting this kill, but he's just trying to force Gaimin back to create space elsewhere.
Moonlight Shadow, we spotted for a moment. Dyrachyo's going to stick on top of him. They do not have a force staff to save him.
You're out of mana on Ursa.
They're going to be able to dodge that one. Nisha's going to go. Oh, no, it's not the right timing for that one. Quinn has just been catching Nisha's Slark non-stop, man. How many lassos has he gotten on him?
It feels like every fight.
Yeah.
And it's because the damage is not coming out fast enough, right? Quinn can just play the fight, wait for a Dark Pact to go down, and then it's too easy. Too easy right now for Gaimin. You got to get something going here in terms of momentum going into that second Roshan period, where if you give up Aegis and Shard to this team,
Gaimin strong banget.
Mickey's game just becomes way too hard.
Yeah. There's the BKB.
Aduh.
Insania, they're just going to go on him from a distance here. The arrow's going to go out for the BKB immediately down. Mickey does not have to worry about the lasso.
Stolen arrows, black hole
Zai from the side.
You only got the one.
Only on the Rubik. It was so close to everybody else. And Dyrachyo goes for the pounce and pops his BKB to ensure Mickey will fall.
Lu cuma ngincer Rubiknya pakai black hole.
And the Verona tries to leap up to the high ground. It doesn't make a difference. Ace is running wild in the background.
If that hole had hit, maybe that's the comeback there. He almost had 3 or 4, but Dota is a game of inches, and you fell short, my friend. And you might be falling short of this grand final as Nisha pays the iron price. Dyrachyo plays another scalp.
Liquid sih udah puyeng palanya. Jelek banget. Paling jelek tuh Enigma. Udah, gak ada lagi.
But they went into it hoping for the best. Gaimin Gladiators, though, you just cannot compete with this squad when they are full stacked up like this. They've been getting the momentum through the upper bracket, and it seems like for them, the matches seem to be getting easier and easier.
That's the scary part. They are just feeling themselves. You can't ban them out. They're always going to get something. I feel like when a team is in that spot,
on the edge,
they are super confident to win the tournament, and yeah. You wish that fight had gone another way, but you can't blame Zai, right? He's going for those plays. He knows you have to hit him. He almost got it there.
Yeah.
In another world, maybe you just team wipe him off that black hole. You're going to need another one of those at some point, and it doesn't get easier because second Roshan is probably not yours anymore to even contest.
Dan juga ini nggak ada damage dari Linanya, bos.
Travel Batrider, who's going to complete an Octarine soon, you don't have too many options when it comes to split pushing either.
I mean, Quinn's been everywhere. He's been everywhere since the start of this game.
Yep.
Shutting down both side lanes, it means these anchor points you create between the Brood and the Ursa, the kill threat's just everywhere, right? You can bots to the Brood lanes, you can bots to the lane where the Ursa's in. Basher's already up for Dyrachyo. Midgay's game is near impossible at this point. Sure, you have BKB coming out, but BKB doesn't do much when Ursa just jumps on you. You don't have the Hurricane Pike to create the space because you went the early Gleipnir and it didn't pay off. Hex on Ace already. This is a disgusting amount of net worth and disable coming out for Gaimin Gladiators right now. They're looking to end this game.
That is twice now that Ace has gone for a very early sacrifice. I thought it was pretty effective in game 1. We'll see if he's able to continue that here in game 2.
I mean, it's super good versus Slark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good versus everything because of how far you head, but Nisha's maybe the one hero that can drag these fights out between the depth shard and his ult to get something going. And he's closing in on Ags. I say closing in, he's still 2,000 off, but you'll take that considering the game state. Arcane Rune spawns. It was for Quinn, but he was not there.
Tier 2 will fall in the bottom lane, so the outpost is open. That will help a lot against the Batrider. As Nisha continues to try and just draw attention without dying. And he is largely succeeding in that regard, trying to work towards an Aghanim Scepter, Gaimin Gladiator, so they're pretty much just hanging out. They're waiting for the second Roshan, and that's when the game may come to an abrupt end.
And look at the read of the map right now. Quinn was bottom. He drew the circle on the two heroes hiding for Liquid on this upper ground, pinged the wave, said, they want to try and kill me on this wave, just go ham, boys, make them show.
And
now you get
comes
that bigger
into
kill.
Play with the Basher on Dyrachyo.
And there's a Blink Lasso here, so Mickey.
Yep, they're going to go for him. He's going to blink immediately. Lasso couldn't even get off the BKB, so the kisses are going to do tons of damage. And the bear will deliver the final blow.
Shredder coming in to clean up the Tombstone. High ground just broken apart here, even without that Roshan.
Gak berani dia juga.
You need a black hole. You need it fast. You need it soon. As long as Gaimin don't clump, I don't think you have a comeback mechanic at this point in the game.
Gak bisa. Sisanya mereka positioning lagi. Rubik di paling belakang.
Has he? I was going to make that same joke. I don't think this bear ever reached hibernation. Dyrachyo was super active in this game.
That's true. It was a short hibernation.
Yeah,
it was between games 1 and 2. You just didn't know that's what was coming.
Yeah. Very, very active lineup from Gaimin Gladiators. I think that's part of the strength, right? Is Ace, he gets a lot of space sometimes because of how active Quinn and Dyrachyo can be.
That's the beauty of this lineup. They have multiple players who are confident to carry the game, and their support duo can play really fast. They're one of the faster support duos of this tournament in terms of going to the runes, playing around their active hero that comes online, combining with their cores on the right parts of the map. This is a really strong team, very formidable, and they are showing why. Second Roche with the Shard, DD on the Batrider, Octarine completed. I mean, take your pick of who gets this. Even gonna smoke, just maybe baiting the Roche a little bit. Let Dyrachyo hit it, don't show anybody else because they know this move is coming.
But do they know from where it's coming?
And look at this ward on the high ground.
Team Liquid have got the ward, they've got the full wraparound here.
Well, they saw the, wait, did they see the Midas?
They see the Rubik, they want to be able to kill the Rubik for sure. That allows the better black hole. But are they going to be able to get into the pit at the same time? Dyrachyo's finishing up Roshan. It's going to die now. Team Liquid all split apart. Not able to find an opening quite yet. They're going to go for it. Now they get the Rubik. The arrow goes out. It doesn't actually land. Tofu tries to telekinesis himself out, but he still dies.
They're going to lose their ward during this time. They got forced off that high ground, but you have to find something here if you're Liquid.
Yeah, Nisha, he's going to try and go for the pounce. Gets away off the BKB, starts putting some pressure onto Duraccio. It's not going to last for long, though.
They rewarded the hill.
Zai, Moonlight Shadow. He needs the perfect black hole. He's going to let everybody else try and get Gaming Gladiators to focus on something else. With the BKB down, Gaming Gladiators don't necessarily want to fight this. Dark Pack does go off at the right time. Duraccio activating his own BKB. Now the kiss is Anisha. Oh no! Did not anticipate that kind of burst damage. Now Mickey's in trouble. Now they're going to have to use something to help Mickey. Oh, the lasso comes in. The black hole. It does go down, but it don't have any damage at the same time. It's canceled. Maybe Quinn dies. The last shot missed. The second one lands, but still, you said it. There are too many cores on Gaming Gladiators who are confident to carry this game. Duraccio and Rampage for Duraccio in Game 2. Gaming Gladiators are just steamrolling their way to the grand finals.
Go, 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 says the all chap, but it's only for the other team here.
Yeah.
As Duraccio is likely going to push them into their first grand finals appearance. Rampage in style, Rampage for the bear. You can't ask for anything more from this team. It's all coming together at the right time. Beautiful Dota.
Clean and aggressive.
Gue jadi gaming Gladiator, jelas pasti bakal milih Ursa. Tapi dari tim Liquid gue nggak ngerti dengan apa milih. Aduh anjing kenapa milih Enigma gitu. Kenapa?
So this will not be Megas, but plenty of time left on that Aegis, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you have 2 minutes of no black hole. Are you winning a fight without black hole in this game?
I don't think so.
Maybe you respect high ground Lina a little bit. Maybe they're going to take the conservative plays and just try and close this out because this game is 100% theirs. But I don't think it's going to take long. You just push down this bottom lane, tier 2 into tier 3 in the high ground. No black hole. If you respect the tombstone and the overextension, I don't think you're afraid of anything else.
Jelas masih tebel banget.
All the utility on these
Rider juga masih termasuk hero yang tebel.
Aether lens and shard on this Rubik.
Yeah.
Your cores don't have to be afraid.
Tempatnya. Liquid cuma
playing it clean, pushing in all the lanes, playing it safe, not giving anything again. Just covering the map here.
He went back for an echo save.
Andainya bercanda, Linanya nggak punya damage.
Yeah. They just want any damage and control they can get.
Main apa, bos?
It's a cheap stopgap, but you don't feel too good about it.
Oh, I mean, hey, look at the Batrider went back for Witchblade. So just in case you are worried if this game's going to go another 20 minutes, Quinn can go for the right-click build.
That's why it's real scary. In the late game, he can just randomly out.
Yeah.
You don't have a BKB on this Lina, even if you were even net worth, this back can solo kill you. He has the damage. Here's the final lane. Tier 2. Going down. What do you have left for this fight? Black Hole is still on cooldown for 47 seconds here, even with the Octarine.
How do they stall this?
Jujur aja, sulit.
They've been trying to cut waves, but Gaming Gladiators singularly focused on this bottom lane.
Sekarang gue kasih tahu, 1 menit lagi nggak ada black hole. Hah? Mau ngapain lu? BKB udah muncul, Malefic kagak bisa. Hah? Mau ngapain? Coba mau ngapain? Ursa ulti selesai di apa namanya? Selesai di stun sama Lina, kelar.
Team Liquid has to find
a way to fight
without Nisha, and the black hole still not up yet.
Ngapain coba nanya gue mah?
Black hole in 4 seconds.
Nah tuh gimana?
Jumping forward, almost getting the kill. Lina still an opportunity with the telekinesis. Mickey almost dies the root from range. Will finish him off.
Stunnya kagak ada.
They're just poking this fight down, kiting them out. They don't have to overextend in that black hole, which is the one saving grace. There's just nowhere to cast it in this game.
Malefic doang, Malefic cuma satu-satunya dibentuk satu dulu. Ya elah deh, gak ada damage-nya.
No help is coming for him. That big team fight spell now going to be gone for another 45 seconds. The black hole will not prevent Gaming Gladiators. They will get Megas. And they can keep it going. Undying, saved by the depth shot. Perhaps he uses the item to be able to get back to the high ground.
They're just toying with him now.
You really are.
Stolen LSA on 2.
Beautiful stun, a nice flame break to be able to break things apart as well. Jump board from Duraccio gets another one. They're practically fountain farming Team Liquid at this point in time. Nisha, Laguna Blade does nothing. The lasso to pull him to his death. Nisha, even in the fountain, turned around. Laguna Blade stolen and puts mark to finish off Team Liquid. A team Fountain Farms.
Dyrachio's confused. He's like, was that series that easy for us?
It was.
Has this entire upper bracket been that easy for us? Because it has felt easy. Nobody is challenging this team. Sure, there's some asterisks on the matches, but they look really damn good. They have fit in with Quinn perfectly. They know how to play around him.
Yeah.
Quinn looks comfortable as hell. He destroyed that early game. Gank kills both cores on the side lanes. Room control. Gets the 18 stack into BKB. You're giving up pretty much nothing here. Ends the game, what is it, 8-2 and 26? Dyrachio 20 and 3, a rampage on the main stage, as you like to say. And these guys are cool, calm, and collected, Cap.
Oh yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you semuanya yang udah nonton
they probably
bareng.
saw this win coming a mile away because it felt like in 10-15
sedih gue
minutes,
jadi tim Liquid.
it was already looking
Gimana?
pretty
Kalau
rough.
damage
If
box.
you're not hitting the momentum with Slark off that mid lane,
Yeah.
if you're not getting your side lane victories
Oke,
here
thank you
between
semuanya.
Lina shutting down the Brood and